5. We have students from Techno India, Shubham Trivedi, Anurag Bishwas, Prabhakar, Sushovan. So these are people from Techno India. I hope some of you have joined from the team. If you're there, you can respond or you can raise your hands. Yeah, I can see Anurag raising hands, so I'll go ahead with the next team. Then we have people from Rajalakshmi group of institutions, Deepak Raghavan, Arjun Prasad, Saravanan, Rajkumar, and Anuranjan. So, do we have anybody from the team? Okay, so I see quite a number of hands here. Okay. Uh, then we go ahead with Sri Krishna group. We have Deepika, Gunalan, Jaisinu, Karthikeyan, Kavi Malar. So, any of you from this? Okay, so I can see some of you here. Then you can go ahead with CMR group. Uh, the team members are Sai Kiran, Srijan, Tarun, Alimi, Manideep, Nikhil Sai. Yes, these 5 people from CMR. Okay. So I can see people from CMR as well. Uh, and then the last group from Sairam group of institutions, we have Aparna, Maheshwari, Ram Sandeep, Tarun, and Ragesh. So I hope some of you are there from that group as well. Yeah, okay. So, Kriti, good to go. We are able to find people from all institutions.
So over to Giri sir.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Kriti. What we will do today, team, uh, first of all, we'll give you a orientation in terms of what the track two or the phase two of this project is going to be, and then uh, start introducing you what is our expectation on the MVP and uh, what you will be, going uh, before we well deeper into this phase two. Let me first of all congratulate all of you on achieving this milestone and entering phase two of Jetayu. I know this is not a easy goal and target for many of the industry experts to achieve what you have done so far in terms of doing a market research and coming out with such a great ideas. I think you have proved that you are already industry ready. It's only through your implementation that you have to showcase the power of innovation, what you can bring it on the table. Now, having said that, you will have 6 weeks a time window to implement or demonstrate a proof of concept. Now, 6 weeks is a very short time for anyone to showcase a full-fledged solution. So, what we are trying to achieve in these 6 weeks is an MVP, which we call it as minimum viable product, or an MVVP, which is a minimum viable validated product, we call it as. This solution could be, minimum in terms of the functionalities or features. But having said that, from the completeness aspect, it should not compromise any of the intent that we are trying to demonstrate through this use case. So what I'll do is very quickly I'll request John to kind of an elaborate in terms of how this MVP should look like from the game automation side of it, because he has been leading a solution around that in terms of what we are looking for in this MVP. And once that has been laid out, we will also tell you the ground rules in terms of what you will be achieving or what you will be expecting in terms of the rules and a slight gamification that we are going to introduce. You'll get a glimpse of it. So, John, will you be in a position to say that what would be our expectation when we say game automation? from the overall use case standpoint.
Yeah, sure, Giri. Thank you. Yeah, good morning. Good afternoon, team. We just crossed the noon mark. So, and congratulations, and you've done it so far. Uh, there is This is not the time to rest. This is the time to the final. You're just into the semifinals. So there's a lot of work to do. Needless to say, just a few words over here. So before I go ahead with that, it would be interesting to know why you chose this. It's an obvious question, but I'd like to hear that when we have our Q&A at the end of all our talk. To go into this, gamification is today, as many of you have rightly portrayed in your in your presentation, the thing that is picking up now, and especially during this COVID situation, people have less to do outdoors, so they're getting into gaming, especially you youngsters. Many of you expect that to take more effect. So the one of the use cases that gaming has a very long lifespan, as you rightly put in your slide. So to keep this thing going, uh, companies like Amazon, as Microsoft, they need to have a stable gaming experience for the users. They've already invested so much of the time and effort. It's so addictive, this gaming thing. So they're they're not like any other users. You see, using a car or using Uber. These are really very active users, and if there's something that goes wrong with the gaming, or there's some slight user experience, then the whole it's the news goes like wildfire. So they're very careful in upgrading each game, and that's the challenge. A part of the challenge. The other part of the challenge is the fragmentation of the devices, which it's impossible, nearly impossible, to test. With all that, the make and model, and then the Android, iOS versions, and flavors and themes. You put a permutation and combination, it goes into millions. So it's impossible for one single company to have all these devices set up. Even emulators are not going to give the real sort of testing. So uh, game automation testing is one way to go about it, and we like to see how you're approaching the whole thing. And I know uh, different. I've seen different solutions and open source tools used by each one of you. You're very distinct, but how you're going to implement and showcase this will definitely make you stand out. You definitely have each of you have a different differentiating factor. So concentrate on that, and that will be the last. That will really tell you out, but aim at something that would at first meet your requirement, what you're trying to resolve. So that's something that I would like to say. Um, and I think I'm just done with that. With saying that, Kiri, would you like to add to what I just Would you like to add something
Sure,
more to it?
sure,
Yeah.
John. Thanks a lot, John. In fact, as you rightly put it across, the ability in which they can showcase the automation side of it really makes the value coming out of it, right? What is important over here is how much to automate. Unlike other software testing where automation is a straight through process, game testing is a slightly tricky. It requires many aspects of gaming cannot be automated when it comes to level testing or fun play testing, there are many aspects of testing the game, right, where human experience and those elements are really embedded into it, and it is very hard for a system to understand what is fun and anything that is related to emotions. It is very difficult to automate it. Now, what they can automate, that is the fundamental question that we need to ask. Uh, the functionality aspect about a game, right? Whether certain in certain levels you are expecting, when you achieve certain goal, the rewards that comes out of it or the points that comes out of it, those things you can easily validate from the functionality standpoint. So these are the functional aspect that you can automate it. Second, you can automate certain things like, if there is a script that for every standard query, there is an answer that you can play it out and then see whether the game is responding in a expected manner. Those things you can automate it because there is no heuristic logic in that. It's pretty much straightforward, a query to answer kind of a thing. Then the most obvious things is you can automate things like doing the security testing part of it, or you can automate. Uh, Today's games are sophisticated where you can even buy upgrades, and then you can also buy certain lives by paying real currencies, right? You want to automate those aspect about it, whether the payment gateway goes through properly or not, or whether the upgrades are happening or not. These are some of the things you can do it. While some of the rudimentary things, while you are testing it out, especially from the functional standpoint, many of you have already submitted in terms of what you can, how you want to achieve that validation, right? Many of you have written that, I'll do screen capture and then see if that I can compare it with an golden standard image and then see whether that particular functionality has been met or not. That's one way of validating. And some of you have chose to write a game bot using GameDriver.io kind of a framework, wherein the bot itself will play the game and give you a quick output in terms of whether all the functionalities have been verified or not. Now, the advantage of these bots is you can literally run on myriads of software and hardware configurations. As John rightly mentioned, today the Android itself, there are 46,000 variants of Android devices. If mobile game have to be tested, it is next to impossible to set up a lab wherein you have 46,000 different combinations of Android devices and go ahead with manual testing, right? So the whole importance of game testing from that standpoint has got a huge impact on the market. One, it will ensure that there is no bug when you release a game, because anytime you release something which is buggy, then people will just abandon that and move on to the next one. Because there is a wide choices that they have been spoiled with, right? So for any game company, in sure that there are no bugs plays a very critical role in terms of maintaining the daily average user, one of the key metrics that we look in the industry today. Second, most important things when it comes to the demo part of it, where you are saying that you'll do a code coverage, you will give them more insight, ensures that they it's the time tested, and also the time to market will be shortened. That is the value proposition you will be giving out. Now, how uniquely each of your solutions meet these criteria and ensure the coverage both from the accessibility standpoint, functionality standpoint, security, performance, and various aspects about it ensures that the gaming company can release the updates much faster in a more frequent intervals. So these are some of the things that you need to demonstrate in your MVP. Can't an end-to-end, very exhaustive way of demonstrating your MVPs, right? So what you can do is take a small scenario where if this is a image-based or a screen capture shot-based technique that you are implementing, showcase for one level how you can automate a particular game. So take something which is pretty much available for you from the open market, and for that game capture some of these screens, and then using a Selenium driver or any automation framework, see if you can compare that screenshots and do the pixel level comparison, and very quickly you can say whether a particular automation you are able to validate it, and then see whether those scenarios have been covered or not. One way of you showcasing the very with a very minimal intervention from human being. If I record the play once, you will be able to test it over and over when there is a new release or when there is a new update. So this is one way of you demonstrating your MVP, saying that this is how I have automated it. And believe me, there are very few solutions out in the market um, when it comes to game testing and testing automation. So our expectation from you all is you'll be either developing a small bot which will play the game, or you will do Selenium kind of a framework you will implement and showcase it. So in this, we would like to see a small script from your side, automation script as a deliverable or as a component. And also it has to be highly configurable. That means I can input anything, any parameters, and then I'll be able to validate the output against that. Some of these things you have to keep in mind and code any values into your automation script, so that tomorrow when we have to move to a different game, then it will be easy for us to configure these parameters and then check on these boundary conditions and things like that, right? So that's the expectation that we have from the MVP standpoint. I hope this will be clear to you. And what we can do is just to make sure that you have all understood, we can go go across each of the team members in a round robin fashion and ask you what is you are going to implement and how you are how you are planning to showcase the MVP. So that way it will be a lot more easier for us to get that confidence that you have understood the MVP and the expectations thereof. So what we'll do is very quickly we'll open it up, and in the last 10 minutes we will put down the some of the what do you say, the rules or the framework of phase two. We will explain you. So Kriti, it would be nice if we can go across each one of these team members to ask what is that they would like to put forth.
Kiri, I'd like to clarify something. We've not covered the streaming apps, which is the emerging gaming platform. So, is it
Correct.
something that they can pick up? You want to just say a word on that?
Sure. So, John, that's an interesting thing what you brought. What John is pretty much alluding to is cloud-based games, or call this as streaming gaming services, right? You might have seen Stadia from Google and Amazon, where it is a very similar to Netflix model, where yeah, earlier in the console games, what used to happen is you used to buy the title in the form of DVDs, CD, and a physical format, right? Now, with these streaming services coming in, you need to buy the subscription, and once the subscription takes place, you will have access to unlimited titles, and you can pretty much play with that. Now, somebody has to verify the audio video playback timings when you are really dealing with this cloud games, right? Because your end devices are going to be treated like a dumb terminal, whether it is a television set or whether it is your mobile handset. There is no processing that is literally happening on your device. Everything will happen in the cloud and it will be streamed. So during that time, what happens is there will be a slight lag in terms of the video and the audio. So if you are doing any testing around these aspects, need not be strictly related to the game testing automation. When I say it is just not about playing the game, but anything that will enhance the experience side of it. If you would like to do an automation around it, that will also welcome. So you can also start thinking through how do I cover this scenario from the MVP standpoint. So John, that's pretty much what we wanted to cover, right, from the streaming
Yes.
side of it.
Yes, Giri. Yes, Giri. Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. So do you think it's a good idea to go with each team and then ask them what is that they're planning to do as part of MVP, coach them a little bit, and then address everyone in terms of baselining the rules, and then we will also disclose the gamification elements that we are bringing in. Can we do that, Kriti? Will it be a good idea?
Hi, Kriti. Can I go ahead with the list?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, please, because I'm in a place where there is some amount of external noise also. That's the reason.
Yeah, sure, sure. So we have the group one here from Techno India, Shubham Trivedi, Debojyoti, Anurag, Prabhakar, and Sushovan. So any of you, probably Shubham, you can clarify your doubts with Giri sir for taking this uh, thing forward. Anurag, I can see you on the call. So it is your team which is being called out. Can you please unmute yourself and
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Hi,
Ma'am,
Anurag. Good afternoon.
good afternoon, sir.
So, congratulations. Could you please
Thank you, sir.
explain what is that you are planning to implement as part of the MVP? And if you have any doubts, we can as well as address that.
Sir, we know that game testing is a very important part of the development. But nowadays, a lot of games are releasing with lot of game-breaking bugs, which make the games unplayable to the user. So,
Right,
and some games are too complex, so there we have to manually test. The users become the beta testers. So we want to create
right,
some kind of API or where the game will give some ML model or anything like that, where we will give certain inputs and the game will test, will uh, push the game to the extreme limits, and if there are any bugs it will be reported to the developers, and these new improvements will be again implemented to the game and the game will be again improved after, and the bugs will be removed iteratively. That's our plan.
Excellent. So how are you planning to showcase this in your MVP?
So can you repeat again?
And I mean, I'm impressed with your idea, Anurag. Just wanted to know from the MVP standpoint, if I have to visualize how you will be demonstrating this MVP, minimum viable product, what is that you will be showcasing as part of the demo?
So we were thinking about creating an application which will connect to the game, and then the user have to give inputs to the game, what we are, and then the app will play it automatically. Will make moves, as many moves as possible, and see if there are any bugs, or if the game is uh, having any disadvantages or anything like that.
So are you trying to leverage something like GameDriver.io or Selenium framework or anything like that?
Yes,
Or
something like
Unity?
that, which will connect to the game itself and play instead of the users.
Okay, for that you are writing a bridge or a script. That is pretty much what you are trying to say.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so is it like something like a record once, play multiple times kind of a scenario you are going to showcase, or the bot itself will discover the levels, or it will discover new move, something like that you are planning to incorporate in your AI/ML?
Yes, we were thinking the bot will do the all possible moves in all ways to see if any of them break the game.
Okay.
And if it's broken, and it will record and provide the information to the developers.
Okay. What I suggest, Anurag, is very quickly, if you can narrow it down, and uh, in terms of which part, how do you write the script for it? Do you have the necessary, the framework accessible to you? All those things can you verify very quickly in the next 1 or 2 days, and ensure that this will become a reality. Otherwise, what will happen is it's a very complex field that you will be working on, and as time passes, you will come under extreme pressure. So do let us know in advance how you are going to achieve this, and if there is any guidance that is required, we will assist you with that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Excellent. So with that, do you have any other questions, Anurag, or you are pretty clear on your next move?
No, sir, not right now. We will discuss with the other teammates, and if there is question, we will contact you.
Okay. So in that case, will you close it within by Monday? If you can close it, nice. If you can even send a note to your college coordinate, so that they will pass it on to us. That will be right way to deal with this. So don't postpone it further, because as the day passes, you will be under extreme pressure to deliver.
Okay, sir.
And the 6 weeks will just fly like anything, right? So that's the danger with the shorter duration projects.
Sir, do we just have to produce a working prototype of the thing?
When you say working prototype, yes, and also you have to showcase how you have written those scripts, or what is the if there is any source code that is available for us to evaluate how you have written that bot. Those things we will see to it, and at least give some configurable things to it. Don't everything hard code in the program or in the script itself. From outside, if I change certain configurational parameter, like for example, like I should be in a position to change the level from outside, so that it will play different levels of that game. Some configurability, if we can provide, that will showcase that tomorrow it is a scalable model for us to accommodate in various gaming scenarios.
Okay, sure, sir. Understood, sir.
Excellent, excellent. So, who will be the next one, Shri? Which
Yes.
college?
The next one we have from Rajalakshmi Group. Deepak Raghavan, Arjun Prasad, Saravanan Rajkumar, and Anuranjan's team. Anuranjan, are
Okay.
you there on the call? I am able to see you.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I'm there in the call. One of my teammates would like to explain the whole procedure. I would go for him. Arjun.
Yes, sure.
Yes.
Please go ahead,
Yeah,
guys.
this is Arjun, sir.
Yeah. Hi, Arjun. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Actually, I have already posted the question in the conversation. I'll come to that in a bit. First, I'll explain to you about the prototyping. So, like, given a game, we'll have a reinforcement learning agent that will explore and then try to win the game. So while exploring, you might see some bugs which arises by the movement of the game or by the objects that are placed there, and through the process of winning the game. So all of these will be monitored by our monitoring unit, which, as showed in the reference architecture, will be a Siamese network. So the Siamese network will be already preloaded by the datas of the game which the bot is playing by the developers. So while we'll have a comparative network, that is what the Siamese network is going to do. It will compare what is the difference that is going on in the game while the bot is playing. So when when the Siamese network reaches a threshold to the point where it ends up saying that this is something different or this shouldn't happen here, that will be reported back.
Excellent. So, in your case, you are picking up an MMO, massively multiplayer
that is the question I
online.
posted. What kind of or genre of game do you expect us to give for the prototype?
So, yours is a very best example of wherein you can tackle a multiplayer game scenario, which is a very hot topic today. And your winnability will also increase because the framework which you have chosen also helps you to achieve that very easily, right? So if that genre you are picking up is a PUBG kind of a multiplayer games, I think that would be an awesome because most of the games that are played today online using either a mobile device is an MMO.
MMOs,
Correct. So you can focus on that. Pick up a simple MMO games where things are not dramatically complex, that kind of a thing, right? It could be a strategy-based MMO or a social-based multiplayer game scenarios you can pick up. Simple ones.
Sure.
Like even Account Banega Crorepati kind of thing, which is a multiplayer game online available kind of thing, where it's all very simple text-based thing, and you don't have many moves to compare and infer out of that. Because in an extreme 3D world, manipulating that and if the number of moves and the heuristic logic you have to apply and all will become very complicated for you to achieve in 6 weeks.
Sure. Also, we want to know the deadline, like 6 weeks. What is the date?
Starting from today, you can compute it will come closer to January first week.
January 1st week. Oh, okay. Guys, anyone else has something from my group? Deepak, Anuranjan?
I think that would be it, Arjun. I think you covered it all. Thank you, sir.
So, anything else
have
that you want to ask to us? Something like that, sir?
Yes. I have a question,
Hello.
John here. Anuranjan, excellent work there. I mean, it's an obvious question, but I'd like you to answer it. Anyways, why do you choose this use case?
Why did we choose this use case? Okay.
You guys are all gamers. That's what the default understanding is. But is there any other reason?
I would say not really. We're just pretty excited with the use case. We went through the other use cases, but this was something different. This was something we could see it happening in the real world. Not that the other use cases weren't really as plausible as this one, but this was something exciting, even more exciting for us. That's all. I would go for that.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, all the best.
Anuranjan, if you're...
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
Priya Vijay from the same institution.
Yeah, hi, Priya.
Thank you. So because of this situation, I'm not able to join last 2 days. So I have a common doubt regarding this use case submission. If our students have exam during January, what they have to do? Because this semester exams will go on.
Yeah.
So can we extend if you are in situation that we are having exams so that they are not able to concentrate on this project for a week or so? Is it allowable,
Yes,
or
fact,
your deadline is strictly fixed?
Deadline is strictly fixed, man. Like any other, external competition, if you look at it. And so what we have been seeing is students are be able to balance both the exams as well as the competitions like this, which is very unique in the industry today. And the kind of exposure that they are going to get is, is worth attempting this for from the industry standpoint. So if they can accommodate this along with their exam schedule, nothing like it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Because the challenge with multiple colleges getting involved in this kind of competition is every college has its own, the schedules and the exams timelines, and it becomes impossible for us to kind of plan it out in a way that it is suitable to everyone. So my request would be if they can accommodate it, nothing like it, and also if college can support them in terms of providing them extra time or accommodating their exams in a way that it won't interfere in their industry competitions, because this will go a long way when they come for the final semester. This is also a gateway for them to directly get an entry into Virtusa, and that would be in the finals we'll be announcing that the finals winners will directly get a entry into Virtusa and the industry. That's the seriousness in which we are trying to take this competition to.
Okay, sir. Thank you. We will see to it. The exams will not affect them, but I don't think as the university is fully going to conduct, we cannot choose a time on ourselves. So
Sure,
they have to balance. That's it.
Sure, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
Thanks
Thank
a
you
lot,
so
ma'am.
much.
Thank you so much. I'm sure the students are very bright and they can balance both. And I have pretty, good amount of confidence in the way they are going to achieve this. So I wish them all the best, and I'm hopeful to see a very good working prototype from them.
Thank you, sir. Sir,
Thank
this is
you, sir.
Arjun, sir. Anything
Yeah.
else from your side that you want to ask?
I'm quite confident that you'll be able to pull through, Arjun. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
So moving ahead, we have the next team from Sri Krishna Group. Deepika, Gunalan, Chinu, Karthikeyan, and Kavimalan. Can we have any of you guys to clarify your doubts and take this forward. You can unmute yourself and post your queries here.
Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes.
Sheen, kindly proceed, please.
Okay. We have no doubts how to implement one, like using software, using and hardware like that.
Jason, what's your use case? Can you be a bit elaborate in terms of your idea?
We are using the emulators for taking
Okay.
these screenshots like that. So we have to implement all of this, sir. How, sir? That I don't know, sir.
So when you say automation that you are planning to do, what automation you are trying to do, Jason? Is
By
this
taking these
some kind of
screenshots,
yeah?
by
So
taking
that's one of the technique that you are
yes, sir.
accompanying, right? So you
Yes,
can
sir.
use Selenium driver, yeah, kind of a framework if that works for you in terms of how to compare based on image-based uh, automation that you would like to do it. There is a way that you can do a screen recording, and when you play back, it will compare against the golden images that are stored and see if there is any deviation from the player standpoint. So that's one way of you can do a functionality validation through that framework.
Okay.
So see if you can write a script around it and automate it. Uh, the second one, I think if you have not decided fully, there are a lot of interesting AR or VR based games available to you, right? Where this kind of a screen comparison is required. Now, if you can come out with the way of validating an augmented reality based game or a VR based game, that would be of a great, I would say, use case if you can even take that across Unity engine. So you can leverage Unity engine and automate this testing as well.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So that's all my
Anything else?
doubts. That's all, sir.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Jason.
Thank you, sir.
Shri, who will be the
Yes.
next?
Yes, we'll go ahead with the next team from CMR group. Sai Kiran, Srijan, Tarun, Manideep, and Nikhil Sai. So any of you can unmute yourself and
Yes, ma'am.
go ahead with your queries, please. Yes.
No, I'm Sai Kiran Srinath. Good afternoon, sir.
Good
We are from
afternoon.
CMR Group.
Yeah.
So we are going, first we'll be choosing a simple multiplayer game, and the framework we'll be using for the automation would be the game driver, along with the Unity engine. So as we choose a simple multiplayer game, and we'll be embedding an object, we'll be writing the scripts to automate the game, like to start the game, create new character with different options, and use different controls and game options. By automating these repetitive tasks, and we'll be also taking this screenshots while the automated gameplay, and we'll be comparing the screenshots with the standard images and report if there is any changes or any bugs we find.
Excellent. So in that case, Sai Kiran, you can also slightly enhance your use case. If you can able to do an moderations, because many of these multiplayer games comes with the chat services, right, where you can
Yes,
work
sir.
out a strategy with other players as well, and you can play with team. But
Yes,
that
sir.
is also a hazard nowadays because many abuse and then very aggressive characters will also get into it, and it may not be always a safe place for kids to be in. So how do you identify that bullying thing? And also, if there is a way for you to do a content moderation while you are comparing the screens and things like that. If you detect any anomalies around it, you can also add that as one of your use case while you are doing that
Yeah, sure, sir.
cycle.
If possible, we'll be using an AI-driven content moderation engine so that we can identify if there is an abusive content there.
Correct. And Facebook has already released an open source around it. So see if you can leverage that as well.
Yes, sir. We'll definitely explore about that.
Excellent. So this is like something around Minecraft. Facebook has released a content
Yes, sir.
moderation open source, and see if you can leverage that as well.
Yeah, sure, sir. We'll definitely explore that.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
We'll go ahead with the last group, Giri.
Sure.
So we have the last team for the day, Sairam from Sairam Group of Institutions, Aparna, Maheshwari, Ram Sandeep, Tarun Pranav, and Ragesh. So any of you from the team can unmute yourself and go ahead and clarify your doubts with Giri sir, please.
Yes, ma'am. It's all.
Yeah, hi. Slightly your voice is breaking. Can you come closer to your networking point?
Okay. Sir, actually, we have doubts of how to implement it, whether it's a hardware implementation or software in the prototype. Actually, we took automatic game testing as Unity versus Unreal. We have chosen to make the game testing towards the Unreal side, sir. So which will be more efficient to do. Is there any particular game or a kind of game we have to choose and present it, sir?
Since you have picked up Unreal, which is also my favorite, so what you can do is, the game testing is taking a new dimension or a new height itself. If you look at Unreal, a lot of very realistic images it can produce, right? The light effects, for example, in real time, they are also using this for VFX effects, and then they are shooting a lot more movies without a green screen. This technology is helping you to create everything within the studio itself. You can create a scenarios without you being actually present in the real world, right? For example, if you want to create a desert scene, you don't have to go to a real desert. Everything you can use an Unreal platform, and then you can recreate it without a green screen. Earlier technique they were using is green screens. Whether you have seen it in Bahubali or any other movies where they have used VFX effects to create it, right? Now, games are also using the same engine to produce the real effect. If the character moves in a very complicated scenarios, including the light conditions and the interaction with those objects, in gaming testing, we call this as the realism testing or a physics testing, right? So the topic which you can take is how do you test the physics and the realism. So, for example, when a character pushes a rock to like a Tomb Raider or anything like that, right? Where it will reveal something mystical about it. So, how do you know whether a certain force when you apply, whether the object have moved in the right way or not, keeping the friction in view, all those things. There is a physics engine that usually a game will employ. So your game testing has to test the physics engine or the light conditions and things like that. So that we call it as a realism testing in gaming software. So if you can write a small, testing framework, which will do the testing on physics and things like that, that would be awesome from this standpoint. And for that, you can pick up anything like a Tomb Raider or any other games which are available out there and do the validation. You can forcefully you can put a bug in that, and there are open source available like Tomb Raider, which are 3D games available for you to testing. Introduce a bug and then see if your physics validation engine can catch the bug or not. Say, for example, when you jump, there is a gravity that takes over, right? So if there is a bug in the physics engine, the character will start flying infinitely with a jump, and superhumanly it will cross a valley or something like that, which is impossible in real world, right? If such a scenario happens and you notice that, your testing framework should capture that and then report a bug back. And just to give an example, right, when I jump, I should not be in a position to jump for more than 20 meters or 50 meters. If I'm able to jump more than that, that means my physics engine is not working properly.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know whether I scared you or not, Aparna, but since you spoke about that, you kind of touched a very serious subject, and that will be of an immense value to industry today. And if you can crack it, I'm sure you will be part of our final finale. So can you attempt one small physics testing as a focus area, and then prove that you are able to verify the physics engine?
Yeah, sure, sir. We'll make it.
You can pursue in that direction, and this testing is called physics testing or realism testing. You can search for it. There are various open source frameworks available for that.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hope this clue will help you to and then able to achieve, and also you're excited about this opportunity.
Giri, we are done with all teams. So
Excellent. I think we are on top of the hour. Just to be respectful of everyone's time, what I'll do is I'll quickly lay out the rules once again for all of you to understand. So when we say MVP, please ensure that you have some automation script or code which is backing your MVP. Because without that, we'll not be able to compare or take a decision on your on the way that you have written, or your work cannot be compared for assessment purposes. Second one, you also ensure that you have a configuration file where we can modify the various scenarios, use cases, at least a couple of them. You don't have to overcomplicate that. So keep certain configuration files without hard wiring into your script. Then the most obvious thing is the kind of technology or the areas that you have chosen. Ensure that you are demonstrating the value that is coming out of it, right? Whether it is realism testing, physics testing, audio video testing, ensure that in your MVP you will highlight that, and then you will show by introducing a small bug, and your MVP should be in a position to capture that bug and report it back. So we want to see that. Simply, if you say that our framework is capable of doing it, it will. Seeing is always believing. So ensure that you have some negative tests introduced in your framework and you'll be able to capture that and demonstrate to us in terms of how you have achieved that automation, right? That's the third part I wanted to highlight. And most importantly, in while you are doing all these things, ensure that you will have your own custom script written onto it. So avoid you can refer a lot of open source, no problem, but avoid lift and shift over here. That means try to avoid the direct copy of open source and then get into an infringement problems. So if you have used open source, acknowledge it and then show us how much customization you have done on top of it. So I'm not saying you should not use it, but if there is any customization, you have to show it. As is, don't lift any code and then make it part of the computation. That's my recommendation to you all. And with that, there is a small gamification we have introduced, wherein you will all be given a virtual funding of say $50,000. It has no significance in the real world, so don't experiment with that point, trying to buy anything in Amazon or anywhere else, because it actually that voucher is invalid and it is only used for the purpose of this computation alone. And with that point, what you can buy, if that is the question that comes to your mind, with that point, you can buy consulting services from Virtusa. That means there will be a mentor assigned to you, and you will be one of you, either a team lead or one of your team members will become part of Virtusa network. That means you will have a login ID, you will have your access to Teams where you can schedule a meeting with the mentor. But the moment you take a mentor time, there is a automatically certain points will be deducted from your kitty. So you have to come back and report how much time you have spent with the mentor, and based on that, our jury will deduct that much coins from your kitty, and vice versa. The mentor will also report that words to us. So all those things are being worked out, and then we will exactly give you that in ahead of this. In next 2 to 3 days, we will release those gamification affordances for you to refer during the game. So we just wanted to keep it very interactive and exciting for all of you. And having said that, I'm only talking about spending the points, right? You might also want to know, how do I earn money in these virtual currencies? You can earn by selling some of these component and script to us, saying that if it's valuable, we'll open the market once in a week, and then you can come and put it for auction. And there are people from our side who will be doing a live auction through the Teams. We can have a collaborative space where you come and post it, and then we will give you certain credits to your contributions. So don't wait for the end of this phase to demonstrate your code. As and when you develop some small components or small widgets, try to come and sell it on the online store. When I say online store, it is not a very complicated one. It's just in Teams we would have created a shared space where you can come and post it, and we will provide you credits. So the team which has obviously earned or made humongous profit in selling more and more and also spending less will get a different weightage points during the final assessment of this phase 2. So that's the clue I wanted to leave you all with, but we will give you more detailed framework in the next 2 to 3 days so that you can start taking advantage of that. So I think with that, you will have full clarity on the phase 2, and hope you have all your queries answered from
So,
the panel here.
Giri, so this is Arjun.
Yeah, Arjun.
Is there any computational support that you can give us?
As in
Like
as a
Google
company,
Collab or something like that?
we can explore that, Arjun. Put forth your request. I know for such gaming things you will definitely need it. Let me internally work it out. If we have enough credits that we can pass it on to you, I can coordinate with our Google team and then help you out.
Okay, sir. And one more thing, what is the purpose of those gamification coins? You said like, okay, if we save or if we get more coins, what is the benefit of that? Can you explain it again?
You will the weightage will be higher actually. So, for example, instead of you, whenever you in the final assessment, when you are presenting your use case, right, we are going to see how much currency you are left with uh, from the initial funding what we had given. So, if you have bought too much of currencies in say, for example, procuring compute engine from us or consulting services from us and things like that, you will be left with only few credits, right? But if you are earning more credits from us by submitting your own components, assets, and things like that, at that point, what will happen is, say, suppose you score X percentage, the value that will get multiplied by 2x or 3x depending on how much currencies you are left with. This is like something like how companies will get valuated in the market, right? During a merger and acquisition. You might have observed this in a program called Shark Tank. If you have watched that program, that is a live pitch. Any startup can come and pitch it for a funding cases. So if they have larger user base or if their income is certain level or if their revenue for last 3 years is at certain level, their valuation goes up in terms of the multiplier. So here also very similar concept we are adopting, where we will start multiplying your valuation by 2x or 3x or 4x. So your chances of winning goes that many folds up the moment there is a positive scores posting on your dashboard.
So is it
That's
like gaining all those 2x, 3x, like gaining all those credits? Is it like getting the ownership of the idea or the code, or like funding it or something like that?
no, the idea behind that is you know, how do I stay competitive among the rest of you, right? Today you have 5 teams participating across multiple colleges. So the moment your valuation goes up, that means you will stand a higher chances of winning in the game.
So this is Deepak.
Yeah, did I answer that question, Arjun?
No, so what he was asking was, you said that we could auction our own pieces of code, right? If we auction it and someone picks it up, they do not own our code. They just have license to use that. That's what I'm assuming. Is that right?
Use the code in the sense
They have to use the code, and if they have used it somewhere, they have to give us it will be an open source code.
Yeah, it's open source only. Someone means it is Vercisa only.
Yes, okay.
For the reference I had given. So we'll definitely will have the right to use your code.
Yes, but you will be giving us the credit for that piece of code, right?
Credit in the sense that what we are saying is if there is an IP, we will share. It is a shared IP that is pretty much guaranteed from Vercisa side. So we will ensure that you will be part of that IP sharing. Then, if it is just a regular source code, we'll have the full right to use it for our solutions and things like that. So that is where the prize money is also kept, right? So the moment you become part of the Vercisa, because we will be onboarding you literally, and you have to place all your source code, everything with our repository. Because the moment you become the winner of this finale and things like that, we will have the right to use your code.
Okay. And by IP, you mean internal projects, am I right?
No. IP is an intellectual property. So where if there is a patentable idea that we are going to help you to file a patent in your, and we'll include you as one of the, the patent owner in that copyrights or patents.
Sure.
So that way we want to protect your intellectual and the innovation side of it.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Sure.
You are allowing only one student to be part of that Virtusa, right? But
Yes.
5 students are working. How come the IP will be shared?
No, when I say for all practical purpose of interacting, only one person will be onboarded, because creating that many accounts will be a problem. But from the IP standpoint, all the students who are involved in generating that IP will be the co-owners of it.
If as they are student, can a college be also a part of it?
It can be, ma'am. We can definitely look at it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
But our core essence is we want to protect every IP and we want to respect their innovation as well. So we don't want to, make it very disadvantage for them of not getting that IP in their name. So if you are a real inventor, their name has to reflect in the patent that we are going to file it.
Okay, sir. Thank you. That's my out, because only one student are communicating with you. There will be 5 students. That's why I asked the question. Thank you.
No, ma'am. If everyone is involved in that, definitely they will be part of that.
They are a team, no? Whoever developed the code, they are a team.
More than the code, what we are talking over here is an innovation disclosure idea of document. So if one of the ideas coming from them doesn't exist in the industry, and if we find that it has got a potential to commercialize that, then definitely we would like to make them part of
it. Comes as a team, right? They fully belong to a team. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's why I asked that question, because all 5 need to be credited.
Absolutely. I'm with you on that now.
Yeah, thank you.
And if the college faculty and professors are also involved in that, we would like to even involve them during the filing process. So that way, the college and the industry's partnership goes a long way. So we would like to make it as a more of a partnership oriented rather than taking a different approach altogether.
Thank you.
Definitely, ma'am. So hope this has given.
I'm really sorry. Sir, this is Arjun again. I'm really sorry. Just consider about that computational support that you can give from your side, sir.
Definitely, Arjun, but there will be a credits for that. You are okay with that, right?
Yeah, we are totally fine with that, sir. We are totally fine with it.
Good. We'll definitely consider that. I also know Deepak had a question. Deepak, would you like to?
No, sir. I was just explaining what he was asking. I was not asking.
Oh, okay.
He was just talking about the computation in exchange for the credits. That's what he was saying.
Sure.
Just adding on to that. Thank you.
Hope everything is clarified from our end.
Yes, sir. Everything's clear.
Yes, sir. Everything's fine.
Great. If there are no more questions, team, I would like to really thank you for giving this time and also all your effort. This is fantastic, and we are looking for one of the fantastic outcome from this engagement, and wishing you all the best for all the endeavor that you are going to put in this next 6 weeks. And please feel free to reach out to your campus coordinates if there are any doubts or further clarification that you will be requiring from us. And we do overview, a complete guidelines, and a document which will explain this gamification. That give us 2 to 3 days time. We'll just finalizing that one, and we will publish it very soon for your reference. So with that, I think we have come to an end of this meeting. I know we have exceeded the scheduled time, but hope this was useful to each one of you. And with that, I would like to wish you all the best. And if there are any closing comments, remarks from Vikram, John, Sasi, happy to take that. Otherwise, Kriti, from our side, we are pretty much we have come to an end of this meeting.
Congratulations, team, and all the best for the next phase. Thank you. That's all from my side.
Thanks.
Yeah, I also don't have much to add there. It's very much covered. Everything is covered by Giri and John. So congratulations, students. It's really nice to see the enthusiasm. I understand gaming itself is such an interesting area, and you all must be having hands-on experience. So that makes the case for more interesting output to be coming. So I'm really excited to see and looking forward for great outcome from this exercise. Congratulations and all the best. That's it. Thanks.
Thanks, Vikram.
Yeah, team, just like to add John here, all the best, and again, congratulations. Please do the video recording of the session will be available, and I know Giri has mentioned, pertinent points for each of your teams. If you can pick that up intelligently and deliver according to those guidelines, I think that will be the best for you and will be a differentiating factor. So with that, all the best, and looking forward to seeing great work from you guys.
Excellent. Thanks a lot, John. Kriti, Shri, anything from your end?
Kriti is unavailable currently, Giri. So I would like to just reiterate a few points that have been shared here already. So as already suggested and mentioned, we would like to have on board at least the one Spock from each and every team, so that they are connected with Virtusa systems, and they are able to access and communicate with our mentors as well. So the onboarding process will be communicated to all the teams shortly, wherein Shri, I'm Shri here from Kriti's team, so I will be coordinating with you to onboard all Spocks from the teams. And please, we would like you to take this competition a little seriously, because you are one among the top 25 teams. In total, 749 teams who have registered for this competition. So kindly take it seriously, and getting such opportunity on the third year of your academic course it's really a great opportunity, and you have ways to go, and you have a lot of things to explore in this endeavor. So wishing you all success on that note. And about the onboarding and other details, we would get back to you on that shortly. So you'll probably receive a mail from the campus recruitment team, and we will communicate and take the things forward for onboarding you here and keeping you as part of Virtusa system, so that you are able to have a connect with the mentors time to time. We are good to close, Giri. So Kriti is unavailable. So
Great. Thanks a lot, Shri, and thanks, team. Really looking forward to see the demo from all of you, and wish you all very best in developing this MVP. That signing off. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Giri.
Thank
Thanks
you,
all. Thanks, Shri.
thanks, team. Thank you, students, and thanks, faculties. The video recording will be available, and we will share it to you shortly. Thank you.